So the first card you have for your past is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, obviously this is action, the action card. A lot of the time it's about a potential for action to start, potential for something to start. A few things here, I think. There are a few things in this card. Yeah, I think you're starting to move away from someone. I think this was happening in your mind, actually. There's a love connection here, an ex, I think. And yeah, you'd already moved away from them. I don't think you're around them. You'd started to get them out of your mind and out of your system. And I think this was when you're at the end stages of that. Because if you look at the background of this card, it's a bit like a clean slate. So I'm getting this kind of, maybe you're thinking something like, oh, I'm ready now, I'm on the verge of being ready, everything's clear, clean slate, I can start again. So it's that kind of feeling, very, very good, very positive feeling. So I think you're kind of just about had this person out of your energy, and you're starting to kind of just think about planning the next phase of your life. So really good. Yeah, I think this ex, they just really shook everything up. It feels like before they were in your life, you're just being yourself. But then after they left, it's almost like you didn't recognize yourself. It's like they came in and they left and you're like, well, I don't know myself. This is crazy. I'm really different. It's kind of like that. Who am I? Yeah, you felt like a different person. That's what I'm getting. But yeah, the old you's coming back now. Definitely, you're coming back, and yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I keep on seeing this mess. There's all this mess. It's like everything's kind of someone's kind of thrown everything up in the air, and it's all just dropped down, and you were kind of left with all this mess to clean up. That's what I'm getting. Almost like one of those snow globes. You kind of shake it up and everything falls down. Yeah, I think it probably took you a long time to sort all this out. Lots and lots of different kinds of mess, problems. But I think now you're kind of at this stage where everything's pretty much done. And it's like, yeah, one last sweep of the broom. That's what I'm getting. One last sweep of the broom, then it's done. Final sweep, that's what I'm seeing. And yeah, the clean slate's there, so you're going to be able to fill up that clean slate where you've swept the broom, and you'll be able to fill it with whatever you want. Yeah, there's another kind of thing. I'm seeing other preparation here, because you were making this preparation for your future, and I think someone else here was making preparations as well. And I think they were preparing, but there's fear around this as well, I'm seeing. Preparing, but they're afraid. That's what I'm getting. I actually think this is someone who's going to reach out to you. They're afraid, they're worried, but they're going to do this. And what I'm seeing is, whoever this is, they're preparing themselves. It's like they're preparing their emotions, they're preparing their mind. I think, yeah, obviously something happened between you and they're afraid to come back. That's obvious. But I think they admitted something to you at one time, and there was a lot of tension around that admission. That's what I'm getting. And there's this feeling of wanting to hide away. So I think that might be what happened. They wanted to hide, and now they're at this time they were kind of preparing to come out of that hiding. And if this resonates, if you know who this is, just be ready. Be ready for this person to come and talk to you again, and be ready for a few awkward conversations as well. It's going to be quite awkward at the beginning. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know how it's going to work out later on, but yeah, you're going to talk to them. I think you're going to say yes, and the conversations will be a little bit awkward to start with. That's what I'm getting in that card. Okay, so the next card you have, you pass the moon. Yeah, this person that's preparing, or they were preparing to talk to you again. Yeah, they're very, very much in their head. There's a lot that's going around and around in their head. And it's not just about you. It's not just about their relationship with you. I'm seeing a lot of ties that have been cut. So I think I think they've cut ties with a lot of people. Yeah, I'm seeing a group, and I'm seeing this one person turning their back on this group, and there's a lot of pressure on them. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, there's a fear of rejection as well, so they're probably scared that you're going to say no or reject them. Yeah, people have been talking about them, and whatever they did, whatever they admitted to, because there's this admission here I keep on seeing, it created a lot of drama. And I think the longer they stayed away, the longer they hid away, the more difficult it's been for them to try to come back. It's like, as time goes on, they feel more and more pressured and stressed. It's kind of like, when you're supposed to call someone back and you haven't done that, and time goes on and you feel a little bit more stressed as time goes on. This is that, but on a huge scale. That's that feeling. So my feeling is, they'll probably reach out to you before they will anyone else. And you might also have to keep this a little bit quiet for a while when you start talking to them, because I think if people find out, especially this group that they've cut ties with, they'll start to add pressure, they'll start to talk and all of that. So just be aware of that as well. Okay, so the last card you have, you pass the 10 of Wands, yes. Okay, this is work here. I think this has something to do with this clean slate, because you wanted a clean slate and you wanted to start a new thing. Yeah, I think, for a while you had this ex that was still kind of lurking around in your head a bit. They might still be there a little bit. Yeah, and you were left with all this mess. Yeah, there's a lot of mess, financial mess, practical mess, obviously emotional mess, and it had to be cleared up. I'm just getting this work situation. I think you've been waiting to move away from something, or wanting or thinking about moving away, but the time's not right. It hasn't been for a long time. You've been wanting to do this for a long time, actually, I think. And I think because you had so much to sort out and all this other kind of turmoil and everything else, changing jobs or career or whatever, you just had to put that aside, I think, while you sorted out everything else. It feels kind of like, it feels like, okay, I've got this job or whatever, and this is the stable area of my life, because everything else has turned into a mess. Not now, but it was. And, there's money coming in, and I'm just going to sort of keep that ticking along for now. That's kind of what I'm getting. But I think now, with this clean slate, I think you're starting to move on mentally from this work thing, from this old work thing. So, maybe you haven't moved on physically yet, but your mind was going through this shift, I think. It was like, okay, I'm starting to check out. I'm thinking about what else is there. There's also some kind of big project as well that I think you're working on at work, and you need to kind of get that out of the way fast as well. And you might still be in the middle of this. So yeah, I don't think you're at the end of this. So you've got that to kind of get out of your road as well. Yeah, you are going to finish this if this is resonating. It's not going to be perfect, because I keep on getting this feeling that, you're doing this, you have to do this, but your heart's not in it. That's what I'm getting there. But you will finish this. You'll get through this. You'll get to the end of this project. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the Queen of Cups. Okay, I think this person who's preparing to talk to you, they've been through a lot of changes, a lot's happened. And I think when you see them again, their attitude and their outlook and everything else, it's going to be quite different. They might even look different. Yeah, they're going through some kind of a difficult time physically, actually. Not that they're hurt physically, but it's like, I'm seeing a lot of problems around the home. So maybe their living conditions are difficult or something like that. They might be living with someone who's difficult, or they might be struggling with their living conditions. It's something like that. I think mentally and emotionally they're getting stronger, and that's probably why they feel as if they're ready to kind of come back again, or they're ready to plan that. Yeah, I'm just looking at these pebbles, little stones that are around this Queen's feet. They're really smooth. And they're smooth, like all stones that are around a beach. They're smooth because the water's made them smooth over time. The water's washed over them day after day for years and years. And so the pebbles are molded. They're smooth because of what's happened. And that's what's happened to this person. They've been molded by all the things that have happened to them since they've seen you. So be prepared for this difference. Be prepared for them to act differently, think differently, maybe even look differently. I don't know. But yeah, you care about this person, and yeah, you're definitely going to be agreeing to talk to them. You'll agree to connect. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay, I don't know if this is going to make sense. I don't think it will, but I'm just going to say this anyway. This is going to sound crazy. I'm seeing a beard. I don't know if that's connected to this person or if this is about someone else, but whoever this is with a beard, I'm seeing this person with a beard, they've been through a lot, so it might be the same person, it might not. Yeah, whoever this is, they have some regrets. There's regret around them. So it fits in. It could be that person, but it could be someone else as well. I can't see that clearly. I know that's a bit strange, but I just wanted to say that for whoever that resonates with. I don't know. So there's a lot that I used to leave out of these readings, and someone said to me, no, don't leave anything out, put anything in, even if it sounds crazy. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, the next card you have for your presence, the Knight of Swords. Yes, it's a bit strange. Okay. Okay, I keep on getting this. Yeah, there's this anxiety, this stress, and it's around your workplace. You really do want to move on. That's what I'm getting. It's not the workload. It's not the type of work. I think it's just, I think it just feels to me like you've just stayed with this for so long because it's like a regular, stable thing in your life, and you've kind of put up with a lot because you've just kind of wanted that to kind of stay stable in your life, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of putting up with this. I actually think you've been putting up with a lot of criticism in your job as well. I'm seeing that. Okay, you're going to be angry when I say this. Please don't. But yeah, I think you are. Some of this criticism might actually be valid. So, okay, this is what I think this is. There's no passion. I just don't think you have passion for what you're doing. I'm not blaming you. If you don't feel that, if you don't feel passion, you just don't. That's just how it is. It's not your fault. I think what happens is you go in, you do what you need to do, you keep things ticking over, which is what I was seeing in the Ten of Wands. So if this resonates, I think this criticism, I think it's a good thing for you, actually. I hate to say this, because if you are getting this criticism, obviously it doesn't feel good to be on the receiving end of that. I know that. But I think this is coming to you as a reminder. It's there to give you that push to kind of move into something else, something that you love, something you have passion for. It's like this man with this knight with this sword is kind of coming, charging at you, saying, come on, do something. It's time to do something. If you look at this as well, I don't know if you can see this, it's small. There's a little red heart right behind this horse's eye. So this criticism, it's a reminder to you to start moving into what you love with that heart. Move into something you love. Hurry up and do that. That's the message here. That's just what I'm seeing with that, if that makes sense to you. Okay, the last card you have your presence, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, this is a workhorse. So it's not like you're lazy. You work hard, but it's just that the passion's not there. It's not there. Look at this knight. He's a workhorse, but look, he's not going anywhere. He's not moving anywhere. He's not passionate, obviously. He's just sitting there. So, I think, you've been planning to move on. You've been planning to do something else for a long time. I was seeing that in the Ace of Wands. But yeah, sometimes the universe brings you these reminders, and they're not always packaged beautifully. Sometimes they come in the form of things we don't like, and I think that's what's happening to you if you are getting this criticism. Okay, I'm just seeing this as well. Another thing here, this is if you're single, obviously. I think what's come out of this experience that you had with this ex, where you were left with all this mass, I think it might have made you a lot more practical, I think, in your approach to meeting new people, finding new love and all of that. I just think you're more likely to be a little bit more, I'm seeing a detective. So you're a little bit more of a detective now. You find out the true thing before you commit. That's what I'm seeing. You find out the truth. You're a detective. I don't mean you hire investigators. I'm not saying that. But I think you spend a lot more time thinking about the practical things, the practical aspects of, love, who they actually are. You investigate a little bit more about them. It's like, do they share the same goals? Who really is this person? Who are they? And importantly, do they respect my goals? Do they understand my goals? Because I think you've had a lot of selfish people around you in your past, and some of them wouldn't even think to ask, what your goals even were, what you wanted. They didn't even know you. They didn't want to know you. It's like, as long as you were doing what they wanted, it was fine for them. But it wasn't fine for you, obviously. So, yeah, you're just really careful now. And, if you do meet someone, this is if you're single. I have to keep saying that because I keep seeing people, well, what if I'm with someone? So this is if you're single. If you do meet someone you're interested in, you're going to really, really take your time. You're going to make sure that they're exactly who you want, the kind of person you want, and you're going to make sure they're nothing like any of these other people. You're going to investigate. That's what I'm getting. All right, so the first card you have in your future is the Nine of Cups. Yeah, again, look at this man. So you're protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself emotionally. You're not going to show anyone what's inside your heart, what's behind the curtain, until you know for sure that they understand you, and that they want to understand you, and that they're going to support you, and that you know all about them. And the thing is, you're not going to listen to any more talk either. You're looking for evidence. That's why I was seeing a detective. You're looking for evidence. You're looking for someone to show you, not tell you. You don't want talk. You want someone to show you what they're like. And, this man's all by himself. He's content. He's content being by himself. And that's a good thing. So, because people who aren't content in themselves, they can attract the wrong kinds of people. And, there's this Arch of Cups above his head as well. So you're protecting yourself emotionally. And it's going to have to be a really, really special person who gets to know the real you that's behind this curtain. So that's what I'm seeing with that. So similar thing to what I'm seeing in the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so the next card you have in your future is the Emperor. Yeah, look at this man. Look at this. Look at this beard. Okay, so here's this man with this beard. Here is the man with the beard. Okay. Okay, right. I'm going to say this. People have asked me to say more of these things if I see them. So, I don't want to upset anyone, but I'll tell you what I'm seeing here. Okay. This is someone who's a bit cantankerous. I think this is someone who's had to fight a lot, struggle a lot. I don't think they're on this earth now. That's what I'm getting. They had to fight for money. They struggled financially, especially toward the end of their life. And maybe they did something. I think they felt as if they were forced to do this. But whatever this is, it's definitely something to do with money, and a lot of people disapproved. A lot of people disapproved of this thing they did and of them, and they know that, and they feel quite guilty about that. I'm just getting, they came from a blended family, or they were part of a blended family, a mixed up family. I'm seeing step parents, step brothers, sisters. I'm also seeing some family members living away from this man, or being very separate from this man. So he didn't know a lot of his family when they were growing up. He was separate from some of his family members when they were growing up. So what I'm seeing is he was an adult, and he had either children, stepchildren, or a mixture of the two, and he didn't know them when they were growing up, for some of the time or all of the time, I don't know. So if that makes any sense to you, the message is they feel guilty. They feel guilty about this money thing, There are a lot of family members that they weren't close to. I keep on getting that. I keep on coming back to this money thing. They feel very, very guilty. They're very sorry about that. So yeah, I hope that message gets out to someone. I've got to say, it doesn't feel loving. It doesn't feel loving, I have to say that. So I don't know if you were close to them. To me, it feels like you weren't. But they do feel sorry. They do feel guilty. That's what I'm getting. So, if that upsets anyone, I'm sorry. If you want to ignore this, please feel free to do that. But I'm just saying that's what I'm seeing. Okay. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I think you're probably going to be just, in more of the planning stages, but further down the road, I think, planning to move on to, a new job or a new career. You're kind of going to keep on planning this until you're ready. You're going to be planning for a while, I think. You're not kind of in the stage where you need a poke like in the Knight of Swords by now. You're kind of out of that now. You have to move on, and you're planning this quite, you're planning it properly now. So, yeah, there's a lot of slowness here, a lot of being careful, especially with your money. You're building up your money, building up your savings, because you have this card and you have the Knight of Pentacles as well. Maybe you're building up a nest egg so that, if you do move on to something else, you have that backup behind you, which is very sensible if that's what you're doing. What is going to happen? You are going to make this move into something else. It's something you love, something you really want to do, because there are red roses in this card, which are manifestation. And when this actually happens, when you actually physically move into this new thing, you might not be at the stage in your life where you imagined you would be when you were doing this, if that makes sense. I think when you're imagining this in your head, I'm going to have this great new job or this business or whatever, everything's going to be sorted out. Everything in my life's going to be sorted out. So it's like maybe you thought you'd be settled down with the right person. But that's not what I'm seeing in this whole reading, because if you look at every card in this reading, every single person in this card, in all of these cards, they're all by themselves. So obviously this is for single people, but try to put all of that out of your mind. Life doesn't always work to the program that we're imagining. It works to the program that's supposed to be, especially if we're aligned. So yeah, you'll be moving into this by yourself, I think. You'll be getting stronger, getting that contentment inside of yourself, growing inside yourself. It's going to happen by yourself first, like the man in the Nine of Cups. And yeah, by the time you're ready for someone, you'll know exactly what you want from someone else. You'll know that, and you'll feel content. You'll have that inside yourself by yourself before you're ready for a new relationship, and that's really good, because that means that you're going to attract the right people and repel the people that shouldn't be around you. So that's a really good sign.